With gigs and tours on hold for the foreseeable future, our next session is even more valuable. Please welcome Bandzoogle's Dave Cool for a workshop on some of the ways that you can make money from your online music.
Hey everyone, my name is Dave Cool. Yes, that's my real name. I work for Bandzoogle, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a second, but just wanted to say hello. Hope everyone watching this is doing well, and I'm sure I may have met many of you at the ASCAP events over the years. Bandzoogle has been sponsoring for 10 years the expo and the experience. So we're happy to be here to share some of this information about how you can monetize your music online, given the current situation with the pandemic. So I'm going to go through a slideshow, and there's going to be a lot of information here and a lot of links to other resources that could be helpful as well. And I'll give you some info on how to get access to the slides and to get that information. Okay, so 14 ways to make money with music online. So if you do want to copy the slides, I believe it might even be possible to download them if you're watching this live directly through ASCAP Experience. But if you're watching this later, I believe you'll be able to download the slides through ascapexperience.com/slides. There'll be a link to download the PDFs, because there's going to be a lot of blog posts and guides that are linked to within this presentation that'll give you additional information on each of these revenue streams. So just very quickly, for those of you who don't know what Bandzoogle is, we're an all-in-one website platform for musicians. The company's been around for 17 years. We power over 50,000 websites for musicians around the world. So you can easily build a mobile-friendly website and EBK for your music. You don't have to know any coding. It's all point and click, and you can totally customize the designs. You can also sell your music, merch, and tickets commission-free, including live stream tickets. It also has built-in crowdfunding and monthly fan subscriptions, and mailing list tools built in as well. So you can collect emails and send professional email newsletters. And perhaps our best feature is our support team, who are online 7 days a week. We're mostly musicians at the company, or former musicians. So it's super musician-friendly, so you can contact the support team anytime. Just very quickly, in terms of the commission-free sales of that music, merch, tickets, crowdfunding, fan subscriptions, our members have sold over $64 million worth of those things, totally commission-free through their websites. We've been doing direct-to-fans since 2007 with our first MP3 store. So it's been around for a while, but in the last 2 years, almost half of this revenue has come in the last 2 years. So over $30 million has come in just in the last 2 years. So as more musicians monetize their music and merch online, we're seeing that at Bandzoogle as well. So if you do need a website, there is a special offer for ASCAP Experience attendees, including Home Edition attendees, obviously. So you can get, with the promo code ASCAPX, ASCAPEX, 3-month extended free trials, normally 30 days, and 15% off the first year of your subscription. And that's if you do download the PDFs, if you just click on ASCAPX here, it'll automatically tag that promo code for you. Okay, so the topic at hand, 14 ways to make money with music online. Look, it's given the current situation, it might be a while before live performances, tours, festivals are back in full swing. We're seeing, drive-in shows and things like that, hotel balconies, and some really interesting, unique ideas. But in terms of where we were at, 6 months ago, it's probably going to take a while to get back there. And for any musicians that relied on, live shows for a portion or majority of their income, obviously this is a challenging time. So, it's crucial to lay the groundwork to monetize your music online now, because all the effort you put into it will continue to pay off after we get to the other end of this thing, and we will. And musicians will be back touring, playing live shows for their fans. But if you put in this groundwork now, hopefully you'll be able to even expand on all of these revenue streams in the future. So number one, selling music through your website. So, with your website, you own the experience, and by selling directly to your fans, you keep more of the money. And again, with Bandzoogle's commission free. And you can also use the model of pay what you want, which gives fans the option to give more if they want. So you can set a minimum price or not, and a fan could enter in, $5 for one track, or $10 for one track, or $50 for an album. I've done that many times, and a lot of our members have success with that model. Bandcamp has released all sorts of data on that as well, where if you give fans the option to give more, a lot of them do. And also selling through your website, you collect the valuable email addresses. So that's essential for your long-term success as an artist. Gathering that data, being able to directly contact your fans. Because if you're selling through iTunes and Amazon and Google Music, your fans are their customers. And so you don't have access to all of that data. So you can sell directly to your fans, you own that data, and that will provide some insight when you release new music. You can promote when we get back to live shows, upcoming shows or upcoming live streams right now, crowdfunding campaigns, all of those things. So having that email data is super important, because on social media, things change, platforms come and go, but that email address will stay the same, for your career. So you can always go back and reach your fans. So just very quickly, if you don't have a website for your music, the 4 top reasons to have one is, again, you own the address, so you're guaranteed to own that little slice of the internet, so your fans and the industry will always be able to find you there. You own the experience on your website, so you can brand it how you want. There's no distractions, hopefully no distractions, no ads, links taking people away from your own site. There's no design limits, again, so you can brand it how you want. And again, hammering that point on data, you own that data. And look, if you're a Bandzoogle member, or you're thinking about being a Bandzoogle member, we power the back end. You can design your site, collect emails, sell your music, all that stuff. If you ever decide to leave Bandzoogle, you take all that data with you. You take the emails, your domain name, your content with you. So your fans will always be able to find you at your.com and get them used to going to your website to interact with you and make purchases. And the last point, again, is that you do tend to earn more money by selling directly to your fans through your website. So if you don't have a website yet, or you're looking to redesign your current site, we have a great guide called How to Make a Website for Your Music on the Bandzoogle blog. It's not specific to Bandzoogle. It's just great design tips on how to design your website and how to organize it so that it's effective for all the visitors, whether it's industry, fans, potential new fans. Number 2, making your music available through online music retailers. So some fans will just want to buy through the retailer that they're comfortable with, which is fine. You got to give them that option. Give them the option first to buy directly from you, but also let them know that they can also buy your music on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, all those things. You'll make a bit less money and you won't have the data, but again, some fans are just more comfortable with it. We've got another guide called The Complete Guide to Selling Your Music Online, which goes through all of these steps and all of these different ways you can sell your music online and what you should focus on. So again, this is linked to in the PDF slides. Making music available for streaming. As we all know, the vast majority of listening is happening on streaming platforms right now, like Spotify and Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube. Look, there's obviously a long way to go with streaming revenue, and that's a whole other conversation and workshop, but it's income that you don't want to be missing out on collecting. And also there, especially with Spotify, there's lots of opportunities to be added to playlists and for fan discovery to discover your music. So it's definitely somewhere you want to be. We've got a blog post on that topic on getting on Spotify playlists and the different types of playlists there are and how you can go about trying to get your tracks on those playlists. Monetizing your YouTube channel. So if you have a YouTube channel, which you should, you can set up monetization on your account and run ads and things like that. When your music is used in a video, whether it's your channel or even someone else's, you're entitled as the owner of that music to collect a percentage of the ad revenue. So when it comes to collecting that revenue, your digital distributor should be able to help you out with that. So if you're with CD Baby, contact CD Baby and find out more about how you can access that revenue. And speaking of CD Baby, they have this great guide called YouTube for Musicians, How's All the Money Made? So that's linked to here in the slides to get a little bit more in-depth information about that, about those revenue streams. Crowdfunding, we believe that it's still a great way to engage with your fans, raise money for your next project. Crowdfunding takes a lot of planning and budgeting to be successful, and it's really not to be used for like a quick fix for immediate cash flow. But if you take your time and plan it out, we're seeing Bandzoogle members crowdfund directly through their website, raising between several $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars directly from their fans. It goes from their fans directly to them. We don't get involved in the transaction, so you get paid immediately. And again, you own that relationship with the fans. So crowdfunding kind of took a hit in recent years with platforms going under, but we're still seeing musicians use it successfully. And so it's something, it does take a lot of planning. So if you start planning now, you can maybe launch something late summer, early fall for your fans to help you out. And we've got a couple of resources for crowdfunding, blog post called 11 Do's and Don'ts, and how to engage your community around a crowdfunding campaign. So a couple of blog posts just that go a little bit more in depth into the world of crowdfunding. Fan subscriptions. So this is still relatively new for the musician community. It's where fans pay a monthly fee for rewards and access to your music and other exclusive content. It's like an online fan club. And that recurring revenue really helps you build a more predictable income stream. And it really also allows you to reward your biggest super fans. So not all of your fans are going to be able to subscribe to you monthly and give you that monthly recurring revenue, but some of your biggest fans will. And it's an opportunity to really delight them and engage with them and offer some really cool exclusive content and music and videos and live streams. And there's tons of things you can do with fan subscriptions. And when the pandemic hit, this is built in the Bandzoogle again. So that monthly recurring revenue is commission free. So we're seeing a lot more Bandzoogle members, musicians, starting an online fan club, fan subscriptions, and making between from a few $100 a month to thousands of dollars a month directly from their fans, which obviously really helps when you're trying to pay the bills and live shows are no longer an option like they were before at the present time. So it's something definitely worth exploring. It's not for everyone. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort on an ongoing basis to really make fan subscriptions work, but it's a really interesting revenue model for musicians. We've got a ton of resources for this on our blog. So there's a guide to how to sell fan subscriptions on your website, different reward ideas. So we came up with 71 ways to reward your subscribers. There's likely more than that, but those are the ones we came up with. So that's a blog post you can check out as well. And also how to promote and position subscriptions to your fan base is another post that we have up on the blog that you can check out. Obviously, live streaming has become a big deal. And if you're on social media, you're seeing people go live all the time. We're seeing great engagement from our members using live streams through Facebook Live and Instagram Live. And Bandzoogle has a tip jar. Again, it's commission free. So our members tend to link to their own website. So that drives your fans to your website. They can tip using the tip jar, and then they can shop for your music and your merch and other things while they're on your website. But you can also just simply put a paypal.me link or your Venmo username. See that a lot too. You can also try platforms like Twitch or Sessions Live, which is relatively new, which have built-in monetization features. So it's worth exploring some of your options in the live streaming world to see what might be the best fit for you. The other way to monetize a live stream, obviously the going live on social and asking for tips is probably the most common. But if you have a little bit of a fan base, you can try selling tickets to live stream shows. So rather than just streaming for free, try doing like an exclusive live stream show where fans have to pay a ticket price like they would for a regular live show. And try out different ideas. Maybe you're debuting all new material, you're playing a certain album in its entirety, taking audience requests for the entire show. We're seeing musicians do different things like that and charging, a cover charge, $10, $15, $20. And we're seeing a lot of musicians be successful with that. So again, through Bandzoogle, there's a live stream ticket sales option, which is commission free. And you can put the Zoom link or Crowdcast link in the information that gets sent directly to your fans, so they know where and when to log in to watch the live stream. There's a lot of great guides out there for live streaming. We we built one on our blog as well. We put together this guide, the complete guide to live streaming for musicians. So it goes through all from the free options through to the paid options and how to monetize for each. So definitely check that out. It's worth doing a little bit of research, seeing what you're comfortable with, and trying out different things with your fan base to see maybe most of your fans are on Instagram, or maybe they're only on Facebook, or you might not have a fan base that'd be willing to pay for a ticket for a live stream. It's all things to consider before you do it on a regular basis. You should probably try out a few different ways to see how your fans react, where you're getting the most engagement. So number 9, this is a relatively new one. So monetizing your Facebook and Instagram videos. So you can actually earn money when your music is used in videos on Facebook and Instagram, including Instagram stories, just like you can on YouTube. So this is another one where you're going to want to check with your digital distributor and make sure that they offer social video monetization. Again, we work with CD Baby. They definitely do that. So if you're a CD Baby member, you can contact the support team and find out a little bit more about how that social video monetization works for musicians. So selling merch, it's interesting. A lot of musicians that tour and perform live sell a lot of merch at shows, and it's can be a big supplement for revenue on the road. But we're actually seeing during the pandemic that merch sales are doing really well because fans still want to support their favorite artists. So it's a good idea, if you don't have any merch right now, to even try some low-cost merch items at first and see how your fans react and see if they're popular with your fan base. So anywhere from CDs, vinyl, shirts, hats, stickers. We're seeing, all sorts of unique things being sold through Bandzoogle websites. You can also survey your fans on social media, maybe send out an email blast saying, hey, what would you all want us to sell as a merch item? What would be interesting to you? You can also research some of your favorite artists, ask what sells best, and start with some low-cost options. Again, CDs are low cost of production. Vinyl has really high cost of production, and high cost of shipping. So that's something you want to be really careful when considering something like vinyl or something more elaborate merch. So just make sure to cost it all out, including shipping, to see that it all makes sense for you. And you can also add, we're seeing a lot of musicians add personalized and signed items, which drives additional revenue. So you can sell a CD for $10 and then a signed CD for $20, or personalized CD, personalized photos, signed posters, things like that. So anything that could make it a little bit more unique for your fans. And you can charge a little bit of a premium for that. As well. So it's definitely worth exploring and trying. Another thing that you could consider is digital merch. And so what do we mean by digital merch? It's anything like PDFs, sheet music, tabs, lyric books, poetry books, videos. So you can provide lessons, behind the scenes videos, maybe unreleased live shows. The great thing about digital merch is that it tends to have a low cost of production. Because you're not producing something physical, and there's no inventory, so you can sell an unlimited amount. We've seen, this doesn't fall into the low cost of production category, but we've seen some of our members create making of mini documentary films from their albums, which they sell as an extra piece of merch in their store after their album comes out. But you see a lot of musicians selling lyric books and the sheet music and any kind of exclusive videos, high quality videos you can also put up for sale in your store. So we have another guide called The Ultimate Guide to Selling Band Merch Online. So it goes through all of these things, from physical merch through digital merch, some of the pitfalls, things to watch out for when you're costing things out, and considering selling merch online to your fans. So licensing your music. Obviously, this one's a little easier said than done, but it's something that even one placement could be a game changer for your music career in many ways. It could bring you, obviously, the revenue, can bring you exposure, which then leads to more streams and more downloads. And some musicians out there earn most or even all of their income from licensing alone. It's one of these things, again, easier said than done. But if you haven't considered licensing your music yet, it could be something worthwhile researching, finding out how other artists are doing it. Some companies are out there that can help you. There's services and platforms that are out there that can help you position your music in front of people that license music. So it's a whole other world, and it's something that requires a little bit of research before getting into it. And we have a couple of resources here. So there's how to be successful licensing your songs to TV, film, and ads. I believe this is another CD Baby blog post. The DIY Musician blog is a great resource for musicians. And a lot of what we do on the Bandzoogle blog, it's very complementary to what they're doing as well. So it's another great resource to check out. And then on our blog, we have 6 different ways to license your music. So just some of the different places where you could get placements for your songs. It might spark some ideas on where you could reach out and position your music. Sponsorships. So if you've built up a fan base, and this was true pre-pandemic, it's true during the pandemic, and it'll be true post-pandemic. If you've built up a fan base, music companies and even major brands might be willing to sponsor you to reach that fan base. And so you can leverage your online presence to monetize, to have those companies pay you to talk about them, to include their product in videos. It could just be something as simple. We see it a lot on YouTube where, a video is sponsored by X company. Bandzoogle sponsors, YouTube channels as well. It can be more immersive where you're really using the product and showing it off for people. You see that a lot on Instagram as well, where people are, using their Instagram presence to once in a while advertise for a certain product. So again, Instagram, YouTube are probably the most common, but you can leverage your entire web presence to look for sponsors. So this is a blog post by our friends over at Soundfly, the Flypaper blog, 4 steps to attracting or asking for sponsorship as an artist. So if it's something that you've never done before, worthwhile to read this post, do a little bit more research, and see, do you have a fan base that's big enough? It doesn't have to be huge, but would be interesting enough to companies, whether it's local companies or major brands, to pay you to reach your fan base. And last but not least is teaching music online. And we've seen a surge of this during the pandemic months because as musicians aren't able to perform live and go on tour, one way that you can monetize at home is by providing lessons for your whatever instrument you play, whether it's you sing or play piano, play guitar, etc. You can take your skill set and offer it. If you haven't already, there's obviously people who do teach music on the side, but if you haven't already, it's a great way to supplement your income, and you also get to hone your craft at the same time, which is kind of cool. And, chances are, like, if some of your fans want to take lessons from their favorite musician, like, that's going to be a really awesome experience for them as well. So it's something that you can easily do. Obviously everyone knows Zoom now, but you can do it through Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts. You can monetize. You can sell lessons directly through your website. We have Bandzoogle members doing that, where you just set up an item in your store that's like a 1-hour lesson. You can also use a subscriptions model for this. We see a lot of music teachers using that fan subscription model where you're charging a monthly recurring fee for access to previous lessons, videos, sheet music, all that fun stuff. And it's something, teaching music is very conducive to that subscriptions model, but you can just start out with doing private one-on-one lessons. You can create a little course online that you sell as a video file or a series of video files. So it's something that you should definitely look into exploring that can supplement your income both now and going forward in the future. Good friend of ours, Bree Noble from Women of Substance, wrote this great guide, How to Get Started Teaching Online by Creating a Mini Course. Bree, many of you have maybe seen her at AskGap in the past. We've invited her to give sessions at the AskGap events, and she's great. This is a great blog post. There's also a webinar that she did on this topic as well, which you can find on the Bandzoogle blog. So again, that was a lot of information in 25 minutes. 14 different revenue streams that you can try to take advantage of online. Again, if you're a performing musician and you lost income from not being able to play live shows or go on tour, some of these you may have already thought of, may have already tried. Maybe some of them you hadn't thought of, or maybe you put them in a different context. It's something you can try. Hopefully, it sparked some ideas for you to further monetize your music online. So again, to download the PDF slides, you might be able to do it live as you're watching this. And then you can go to askgapexperience.com/slides and just download the PDF. All of the resources are linked to within the PDF, so you can look at the different revenue streams. If there's a couple that particularly interested you, look at the resources, go to the blog post, read further, and see if it's maybe the right fit for you. Again, if you need a website, or if you don't have a website or want to design a new one, you want to give Bandzoogle a try, it's totally free to try. And with the AskGapX promo, you get an extended 3-month free trial instead of 30 days, 15% off your first year. So finally, just want to say thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for those of you watching, and I hope you're all doing relatively well in a kind of a weird 2020. And I hope to see all of you live in person at the AskGap Experience in 2021. Cheers.